Hello there, friends. It's your Sunday morning spread from Cards of Light, Bright Blessings of the Tarot. Brian Noe with you once again this week. Thank you for joining me for our 4-card energy reading for the week to come. And I wanted to start with kind of a quick tour of the tarot table here. My friend Julie had asked a couple questions about the objects that I've got laying around on the table. So first of all, this is some kind of plant from our lawn and I'm not sure what it is, and I'm not sure if these are petals or leaves or what, but I just thought it was kind of pretty, and so found it laying out in the yard and brought it in. So that's that. The altar cloth is one that my wife got me as a present with kind of the Celtic knots and stuff around it, and the triskel in the center here. And then these other things represent the 4 elements, the 4 suits of the tarot, and the 4 dimensions of our lives. So we've got a candle with fire here, representing the element of fire, representing the suit of wands, and representing the spiritual dimension of our lives. We've got some holy water here, representing the suit of cups, the element of water, and the emotional dimension, the dimension of the heart in our lives. We've got the incense here, and this is, I did track it down, it is Satya, I guess, rose. From some time or another, I was trying to be a Rosicrucian for a little while, or at least studying their stuff, and so rose incense. But incense, as it floats up, representing the element of the air, and the suit of swords, and the mental dimension of our lives. And then got a little stone that again came from somewhere out on our in our backyard, probably, representing the element of earth, the suit of discs or pentacles, and the material dimension of our lives. So that's just a quick tour around my tarot table. It's nice to have the 4 elements represented here as a reminder of who we are, I guess, the nature of reality. Okay, let's take just a moment to kind of breathe, get our minds still. There's no insurance that little practice of taking a moment to breathe makes any difference in the quality of the reading, but I feel that it does. No guarantee, but I know that I don't think as well if I haven't done that. Okay, we've got the Queen of Wands in the spiritual dimension. We have got the Moon in the social emotional. We have the Two of Cups. This card showed up Thursday as well in the mental dimension. Love is on our minds. Okay, and Prince of Cups in the physical dimension. Let's get these kind of straightened up and in order, and then take a good look at them here. Close as we're going to get. All right. So 2 court cards, a pip card, and a major. 2 cups cards. Always interesting to kind of get the big picture before we get going here. Okay, so fire and water and spookiness. Prince of Cups. This card is like a storm blowing in, like a tsunami coming in. And so in the physical dimension of our lives, And this would be the dimension, not just in terms of our physical bodies, but also our environment and financial matters and that sort of thing. Any of the, like, I don't want to say mundane, but the more solid aspects of our lives, things having to do with what we know is material reality, and not just like thoughts and feelings and that sort of thing, but actual stuff. That there may be some tempest blowing in the week to come. I'm not getting a huge intuitive hit. Maybe this is an actual storm, though. And I don't know about the where, but I'm kind of getting the feeling of, like, lots of rain and that sort of thing coming in. So hard to say, but maybe some turbulence. I'm hoping that this is not having to do with my friends over at Sailing Parlay Revival. Last week I pulled the tower in this dimension, and they had a lightning strike, their second lightning strike to the mast of their catamaran. And so I'm hoping that this isn't another one of those, but storms coming maybe this week. So we'll see how that plays out, depending on where you are. Of course, there's always probably storms somewhere on the planet, so who knows? Okay. In the social emotional dimension, the moon. And we've seen this card before and talked about it extensively. It's kind of that eerie twilight zone, liminal space where we can sort of catch a glimpse of something coming, but we can't quite sort out what it is. It's the card of the unconscious or subconscious. We've got this something emerging from the depths there. So in our emotional life and in our relationships with others, there may be something kind of eerie creeping up on us in the week to come that we can't quite put our fingers on. So again, with the storminess and with the eeriness here, we just have to kind of weather those conditions when they come. The sun will eventually come out, and everything will come out into the light of day. It's just maybe a little bit of an uncomfortable feeling, both in the physical dimension and in the social emotional dimension of our lives for the next few days here. So we'll see how that plays out as well. Okay, here in the mental dimension, though, we have the Two of Cups, and this is the card of Cups being the suit of the heart, as we mentioned. Twos being the cards of decisions, of partnerships, of anything that comes in twos, anything that comes in pairs. So also, kind of opposites and that sort of thing could be indicated here. So sometimes this card can represent decisions that we have to make, or kind of struggles and conflicts, especially coming in the mental dimension here. But it's overall a positive card. Crowley styles it love. I think I mentioned when this turned up on Thursday that I had the privilege of officiating a wedding on Friday, which was a total surprise to me when a friend had asked if I would do this. I thought, well, I'm not qualified to do that, but turns out legally I was, and I guess that's what mattered in this case. So, but it was really cool to be a part of that, and to be in that role with folks, and to help them with their wedding celebration and all of that. It was just really a cool, unique, fun thing that I doubt that I'll ever have the opportunity to do again, but it was fun to do that. Anyway, so love is on our minds. This may be, again, decisions. This may be a specific relationship, but there's something going on there that we are pondering. So I'll leave that to you. Again, I'm not getting a huge hit of, oh, this is what this is. It's just, this is the general energy that we're seeing with this card turning up. Sometimes that's the way it goes. Sometimes you get a clear message, and sometimes you just sort of say, hey, here's the energy around this. So something there on our minds in terms of relationship or a decision point having to do maybe with a relationship or with something that we care about deeply. Okay, and then the Queen of Wands here in the spiritual dimension. And this card is vivacious, powerful, charismatic. And so, as I've said before, when I see a court card, I'm usually thinking, what in this card's, characteristics should I be trying to model and emulate, or what should I be trying to avoid? So let's unpack that. The cool thing about this card is that there's a lot of passion. There's a lot of charisma and charm there. There's a lot of energy. This is the sort of person that if you were in a social setting with them, they would be, kind of the center of attention, would be buzzing from one place to another and one person to another, and totally at ease in any conversation with anyone, the life of the party. So that is kind of the upside. We can bring some of that energy into the spiritual dimension of our lives this week, which is the dimension dealing with legacy and with passions and with recognizing that we are more than just our bodies. That there's is so much more to us than just the physical presence that we have. The downside of this card is that when this person doesn't get their way, or they're not the center of attention, they tend to be, I'm going to use the word wrathful because that's the one that comes to mind, but maybe unpleasant would be a better way to look at it. So that is the sort of thing that we may want to kind of be on guard with. This may be ourselves, or it may be someone else that we're going to encounter, or is going to be important in our life this week. These two cards is a little scary, Prince of Cups and Queen of Wands, because you've got kind of the opposing elements there. For one thing, you've got lots of powerful energy. So this is air of water. This is water of fire. When you're looking at it from an elemental standpoint, the thing that they have in common there is the emotional stuff, the watery cups energy, but also just an awful lot of volatility going on here. And so, both in the most grounded dimension of our lives, the physical dimension, and in sort of the most ethereal, the spiritual dimension. And we've got something coming up over here that we can't quite get a handle on, but then here we've got this nice, soft, happy relationship and emotional energy going on in the mental dimension of our lives. So whatever is blowing around here and catching fire here, we're kind of, in terms of our minds, doing okay with it. The uneasiness here, we're doing okay. And so I would say that the key to this spread is to follow our hearts. I mean, that's advice that I always give myself and always give to others, that if you follow your heart, you can never go wrong. But boy, with all of this stuff, just kind of lots of intense energy going on. We really need to focus on that, on keep our minds on the love and compassion that we're trying to bring into our lives, and to keep centered in that, and to breathe in that, and to breathe through all of this other stuff, whatever it may be going on. These are not necessarily inauspicious cards, just very intense here and kind of eerie here. And so I think if there is a message in this spread, it's let's keep our minds on the love that lives within us. Keep our service to others and our love for others at the center of our thoughts in the coming week. And we will be okay with whatever storms come in and whatever else is going on here that we can't quite come to terms with just yet. I'll really be interested to see how this plays out for any of us. And if there is something in this spread that resonates with you as the week comes to pass, I would love to hear your stories about it. Also, if you're a reader and you would see these cards differently, if there's something that you see that I did not see, a relationship between them, or a message or a meaning here, or a sense of energy, or an intuitive notion about what any of this means that I didn't get to, I would love to hear what you think. You can always leave comments here with the video, or you can pop on out to the weblog at brightblessingstarot.com and get in touch that way. Wanted to mention once again that if you are local in the Chicago Southland or the Kankakee area specifically, I'm going to be doing some readings up at Rubber Rose Books and Print right downtown on Court Street in downtown Kankakee next Saturday the 10th from, I think, 10 to 1 is the time that we say. You can check out the weblog. We've got a post there. But such a cool shop, and really thankful to have an opportunity to get face-to-face with folks and do a little bit of exploring of the tarot next Saturday. So come on out if you're nearby and say hello. I think that will do it for this Sunday morning spread. Plan to be back on Thursday for our 3-card Thursday. And as always, in the meantime, I wish you peace. Take care of yourself, okay?